want to know by a show of hands, on whom did a bird poop? Just me? What? No, like just now. What was the question? On whom did a bird poop? No? Just now? No? And the lunch break? Just me. Okay, cool. So they say that's good luck, but I think they're just saying that. Anyway.
Welcome everyone. To GBOCS Great Books Audio Commentary Series with Gibson and Rob Haggerty. We're glad that you're here for this session. This class is offering a visual perspective to study deeply and engage the teaching in a meaningful way. Thank you for joining us at ACI Five House, and let's begin.
Hello. Okay.
Hello. Wait.
Okay. Shh. Okay. Welcome back, and especially hello. Not especially, but hello to the people online. Is it possible on this one to see all the people? Or as much as the screen will show. Yeah.
Hello.
Hi. Cool. We were asked to speak slower.
Yeah.
And not use language that people don't understand in other parts of the world.
A lot of heart attack yesterday.
Like they said, you're like from New York, you use all these like New York words, slang as we call it. Yeah. So we'll try to respect that today. So I'm going to let Gibson kind of welcome us back and move into a smaller view.
Do you want to start with the auction?
Oh, yeah. So the Five Houses is doing well, actually, I think it's for sale, correct? Or is it just one? Yeah. So this is a one and only original painting, I think a digital creation, correct? Yeah, by Ben Christiansen. Or Christian. I believe he lives in Australia, but I don't know, is that where he is now? Yeah, I've known Ben I met him 25 years ago or so, and he studied with us here in the Diamond Way course here at Diamond Mountain, and also created the cover of which book? Which book did he just do the? No. Light for a Friend.
Yeah.
He did the cover of that. So this is going to be for sale. This amazing digital creation of Jetson Kappa, and that's whose poem really we're covering while we're here. And so for those in person right now, it's going to be for sale for $1,600. Is that correct? Ooh, there's a sale. On sale for $1,008 if you buy it today. If you buy it today only. And this beautiful thing, in New York, we had a store called Crazy Eddie's. It was like a stereo store. And he said, we're practically giving it away. Yeah. There's like 5 of us who remember that. Yeah, it's this beautiful thing to have in your home. And you could put a picture of The Other Side of Emptiness book underneath it and put that on your wall. So we're going to announce that. And is there a QR code? No, this is just for in person? And it comes framed as well. Yeah, fully framed for those of you who are here. And can you arrange transportation somewhere if they pay for it? Yes. Okay. So if you buy it, we can arrange for it to get to your home. For just a little bit extra. Yeah, not a big deal. But more importantly, it goes to support Five Houses. And look at all those people in the back who are supporting us, just, all the staff, right? They work so hard, and we just had a meeting how we really want to be able to provide for them a little bit better income. And we said, how many hours they work? And, like 20. But I guaranteed there's not one person back there who puts in 20. I guaranteed those are the type of personalities always work twice as hard. And so let's just give them a hand.
Okay.
And,
I
and
don't-
before you get started, I'd just like to say I'm so sorry. Anonymously, it is sold. Thank you very much.
Man, I could have sold it for $1,600. Cool. All right. Well, there's other things to hear. I think we're almost sold out of all the books for Other Side of Emptiness. Is that true? Yeah. So if you want to buy one for your
Still
friends,
have a little bit.
few more to go in there. So
Full? Okay.
yeah. And is the auction still going on with the statue? Is that still happening? Yeah. So also the auction is still going on for this beautiful Buddha, which should be appearing over there. And there's a QR code. There's a race to see who gets that beautiful blue Buddha from the how do you say the name of the people? The Huichol?
Huichol.
Yeah, the Huichol people. The Mexican Sangha really puts their, what does it, put your money where your mouth is?
What does that mean?
Oh, sorry. So what that means for translators is that they put the practice, they put everything into practice. So they learn it and then they go out and they actually help people. And that's really beautiful. So this
Sold
is
also.
there to support, what?
They also sold out.
They're sold, it's gone?
Ah.
They're putting their heart and spirit into it. I don't know if you can translate that. Give me a thumbs up if that was okay online. One person. Okay. From Russia.
Yeah.
The Russian, Ukrainian, these guys, man, are on fire. Oh, you don't know what that means. Okay.
I understand.
It means they're motivated. Wow. I didn't know there was so many words, Kadrin, that I was using that no one knows what I'm talking about. All right, off to Gibson.
Hello, can you hear my sound? My sound is okay, right? All right. Hello, everyone. So this is the day 3 of a GBOCS, not a B-box, okay? And we are finally come to the last day, and the last day we are going to make it practical. Okay. Doesn't mean the first 2 days not practical. We are going to have 10 to 15 section, and we'll bring people. We'll let everyone have a chance to talk to each other, to thinking about how can you plan for your 6 months to prepare for your diamond way. Slow. Okay.
And we're not supposed to talk at the same time, so I have to tap you now.
Okay.
For translators. So that just means we'll do a workshop. And, you know, if at home, if you have some friends, but also just by yourself, which, you know, all of us at one point were on that platform, especially during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And we'll just all sit around among friends or maybe people you don't know and talk about your goals for really the next 6 months. Because we don't want you to leave without a plan.
Yeah.
And so we figured if you walked out the door, it was too late, so we're not going to let you leave. So, and we have paper and pens for you.
So before we start, I just want to ask everyone one question: How many things in the world is coming from the luminous image? At everything coming from how you treat other people, everything, right? How about your empowerment? Yeah. So if you expect that you don't need to prepare and just sign up 6 months later and you expect you will have a full experience, we will say he is a fool. No. So Gail, if you want to have a full experience, better to start to print a seed right now. And also, if you want to see the pot on the stove experience, you need to prepare, okay? So before I give the microphone to Rob, I just want to review again those 4 pillars. Can anyone tell me the first pillar? Serve others. We are not going to give the money today, right? We are out of budget.
No, I have money.
You have money, okay?
But not for
Not too easy.
yeah. Well, there'll be some good ones later.
Yeah. So, it doesn't need to be a big thing. You don't need to find an old lady to across the road and say, "Oh, do you need to cross the road and do that?" Everything. holding the door for other people, try to buy a grocery or try to drive the elderly to the grocery store. Geshe used to mention that when he went to Mongolia community, he's the youngest one, right?
Yeah.
And he become called a Chibeda. Chibeda means a public horse, because he's the only one who know how to speak Russian and how to speak English. And he's the one, when everyone needs help, he will do that. You want to add a
No, that was telling her, don't worry.
Okay. So this is the first one, and you start to look into your daily life. How can you also becoming a public
Horse.
Meaning you are available to serve other people. If you have a car, the car is not only used by yourself. You are thinking about other people. If they don't have a mobility, then you can help them. Okay, so the first one is serve other people. The second one, what is the second one? Meditate on what kind of object? Emptiness. So does that mean meditate for 1 hour? You can go on YouTube and search randomly meditation guy and start to do that?
Yes.
Yes. And does that mean you can follow the meditation with the music background in the music in the background?
Yes.
Yes. So right, we need to find or identify a teacher who know what is the correct meditation and learn from, then starting from the 10 minutes, okay? And what is the third one? To find a teacher? Identify. Create. But before that, because you already serve other people and meditate, asking the teacher come into your life, so he will come. I remember last year I went to Mexico City with Savan. Where's the Savan? Not here. Here. Do you remember we have a very magical day? And you say we have a 5 or 6 magic happening in that day, and you thinking in your mind, say, if you can bump into someone you know, that will really be magical. And then we go to the square in Mexico City, and after we visiting the church, and someone just go into one direction. I don't know what's happened, and she bumped into her friend, haven't met maybe 6 years, from another country. So that experience give me a sense that everything is coming from how you serve other people, including teacher. So what kind of teacher you want to have, you start to give other people exactly the similar feeling, okay? And what is the last one? Study the classic. What kind of classic? Milaya and all the thing about the emptiness. And it's really important to have someone to guide you. I don't know if you like me 20 years ago or 30 years ago when I want to rent a DVD.
Wait, how old are you?
36.
Wow.
Or you want to have a comic book. You don't know what you are going to read or watch, and you naturally will talk to the owner or the staff there, and he will choose one based on your description. And this is the same as the teacher. You don't randomly pick up a book and study for 10 years, because if someone has read the book and have some experience before, then it's better to follow what's his or she's suggestion, right?
Can you imagine Gibson at Blockbuster Video saying, I would like a movie on the viewpoint of the Madhyamika, Prasangika, also including the mind-only school, but don't forget the Abhidharmas and Sutras as a bridge. Yeah.
Yeah. But first, what is a blockbuster?
Oh. It was a video store. Video, right? Yeah. It was like the video store in the U.S.
Yeah.
I went to the last one in Tucson the day they closed.
Wow.
Take it away.
Yeah. So I think we are really fortunate to have Geshe here because he have the organization to looking for all the texts in the world and to saving them. But he only pick up the most important one that's really help you to see the pot on the stove. Trigger this experience. So we are so lucky to have him introduce this to us. So we will talk later about the good night reading part, right? And so this is the
Nightclub.
Nightclub, yeah.
According to Juan Hasso, it's the good night. It's the nightclub.
Yeah. And as we say before, we just need to be chill and stay in the class and let the teacher to put the information into you and plant the seed, and this seed will ripen. You don't need to struggle and to understand at the very first class. Okay. So. Yeah, we want to review again about the power stove experience, and I want to let Rob doing this.
Sure.
Can you show me the next picture?
Yeah. No, not that one. The actual pot on the stove one.
Previous one.
Yeah, yeah, I just saw it first. Yeah. So, so was that okay for you guys yesterday? That part? Yeah. Did you get like a feeling at least or something? You know, like because that was really. You know, what we're hoping you walk away with is some kind of like picture in your, feel at least a feeling of something that you can imagine that will be you. You know, you will have the experience of walking into your maybe your teacher's house, or you're in retreat, or you're serving your father, or right, or Miss Wynn's father, right? You guys. Or you're at Diamond Mountain, you're studying 5 houses, all of those things. And so what I was really hoping, and it got quiet for a second, so I thought maybe that worked, but what I wanted to, and then how that transitioned into Geshe-la's class, because it was so cool that he started bringing up Cheech Hedrock, right, yesterday. That was just awesome. And we didn't, to be honest with you, there was no real plan. Yeah, we didn't he's like, are you talking about exactly this? I remember when I first showed up in the 90s, I thought they all got together in a room and spoke about what they would teach, because no matter where we went, Venerable Punsok's meditation, the classics classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays, or if we went to New Jersey and Ken Rinpoche was teaching, they always seemed to be the same theme. So I just assumed, because I just showed up, that these guys were all, maybe living together. And one of the beautiful things about the Lam Rim, the steps, is that they say that it speaks to you personally. Like there's a personal story for you. And you can be in an audience of thousands, and for some reason you're like, oh, that was meant for me today. Right? So they say it has that quality, that it speaks to you. And so I think as all of you teach, most of you have taught, that, to sit up here and sort of maybe what Geshe-la said today, review the best that you can do, right? By the way, on the airplane, I am the guy sitting next to him.
Wow. So are you the one who poured the coffee on?
I was like, but I have to admit, I was like, and Jigme knows this too, right? Like you're like, wait, because he's like, what do you think about the pen thing? It makes you really suspicious, right, Jigme, when you drive in the car with him, and I've gotten more calmer, but there is this this dialogue going on in my mind. Like, what am I even doing here? He's like, well, what do you want to listen to? And I was like, I don't know. Like, what do you want to listen to? And one of the cool benefits of being around a teacher, I think, is that they encourage you to share. And so he's always asking, if you noticed, what are you up to? He will always change the subject to you. And so I think having a great teacher, they inspire you to something bigger. And so that was the hope with the pot on the stove talk last night. And what I wanted to share or speak about was how does that experience relate to me in my own real world? And so, as you know, I had my nephew Cooper up there, and he's like my guy. Him and my mom are like my main two people. And I encourage you to have like a couple of people who are like your staples. Gelsey, I believe, has this. You brought her to Peachtree, I think. Is there a lady you take care of consistently, right? Yeah, for years. And so, all of you should find. I'm always encouraging Lindsay, call your Geshe used to say this to me. Did you talk to your mom? I was like, no. Did you call your dad? I was like, no. And this is the day of payphones, by the way. All right. This is slang. Do you know what a payphone is? Oh, I had to ask like Chloe, actually. She's like generation. I like how you just stare at me like millennial. A payphone, you would put money in that you probably got from your parents. Like when I was a kid, it was a 10 cents. No, it was a nickel, then 10 cents, then a quarter. And then you talk, but only for so much time. And then they'd be like, please insert more money. And it was.
Do you remember there's another one called very similar to the business card? You need to insert to the machine.
ATM?
No, when you make a phone call, they have no. Okay, that's okay. Keep going.
I don't even know what he's talking about. I'm Generation X.
Okay.
Very punk rock. Sorry. So punk rock is a 70s kind of music influence that sort of came out of England into the US. And you have bands like Pearl Jam who come from that. They were from my time, the 90s. Wow. Okay, back to the story. Pot on the stove. So how does your experience, each of yours experience, like how does that, on purpose we didn't talk so much about the direct perception of emptiness because one implies the other. And what did Lord Buddha say about causes and results? For $100. Oh.
Whoa.
All right, there's a. You don't have to quote it exact, but what did the Buddha say about causes and results? It was like it's like, blub 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 blub. It's like that long. There's someone. Well, I don't pick. Lindsay does. Boy, he knows all the time. Wait, no. He definitely knows it. Don't know. He definitely knows it. I'll take you out to lunch.
Your result will be similar to the cause, so
Yeah.
you receive the similar what you planned.
When this is there,
This is what here you receive there the similar result.
when that occurs, this must have happened.
This must happen.
Basically.
Okay, yeah.
And so, thank you. Oh, give her $100. So hopefully online you got that. When there's a, why don't you explain it, Gibson?
Huh?
You explain.
I explain. Okay. I think the most famous life tool I have in design is the two husbands in the kitchen, right? Yeah. When today you are really busy and you're going home, and you open the door, you expect the husband will hugging you and say, "Oh, honey, you coming back home." And instead, husband just yelling at you, at the wife. He say, "You stupid! You are the most stupid wife in the city." And the wife is just freak out. So I don't know. I didn't do anything.
I think it's stupid husband.
Yeah, but there's another.
Right? This is how Geshe does it. The lady's always right.
Yeah. So where's that stupid husband coming from? Yeah, it's coming from because a weeks before, you are too busy because you are going to have an online meeting with your client. And so the day before, you tell your children, say, Mommy going to have an early meeting, so you need to wake up early. And the kids say, yes, Mom. And the next day, when Mom opened the door, what's happened? They have it in the pillar wall, right? And they didn't wear the school uniform. And their mom just yelling at the kids. What did her yell? You two are the still big kids in the Tucson, in the buoy. And that is the least that happened. Why? You yell at your kids, you see that, and you hear that, the image already put into your mind. And when the condition is correct or proper, you see your husband yelling at you. So the thing doesn't like, how to say that, you treating him nice, he's treating you back. It's always on your head. So you can plant the seed here to have a result in the other place. So this is basically.
Yeah. And so how does that relate to, so one more, so I yelled and someone yelled back. How does that relate to a luminous image for $100?
Wow.
Oh. Stand up. Stand in the place where you live.
Oh, it's a difficult 100 ones.
Well, what I think, so when mother yells at the kids, as Gibson mentioned, she hears it, and it's getting that seed in the mind, and then that luminous image, how she treated those kids coming out of her, actually coming as a yelling husband.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's such a good story. I was like, yeah, keep going. Wow, thanks. Yeah, that was great. $100.
Should I add some?
Yeah. You tell things really well, actually. No, seriously. You have like this command when you speak. It's nice. No, it's great. I was like, wow. Keep telling. Where are we going now? Yeah, and so is that clear in everyone's mind? The luminous image. Where's Anatole? Is he here? And what is the mantra? He said luminous images popping out of our mind on how we have treated people in the past.
Yesterday I heard Geshe say, if there's a car accident, it's not the car that you get hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is pretty profound. Yeah, because you hurt, that is the past. What is that? What is the cause?
It's so funny. I'm watching people just talk, and I'm like, yeah. Keep going.
I want you to elaborate a little bit more.
No, you elaborate.
All right.
Well, I gotta tell you what. Let me just show you how it connected to my life.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure that you are all comfortable with that idea. And so I took off to take care of my mom, I thought for 3 months in 2014, somewhere right on there. And I went up to Seattle to spend the summer, actually. And that turned into 8. So Paji's doing this, which means slow down.
That means I believe you can fly.
But what I thought but that's what I thought it meant. I thought he's like, man, you're really flying right now. Like, just use whatever that is, say that more. I was like, yeah. So I went up to take care of my mom, and that turned into 8 years. And I have to admit, I was pretty much on a path, I would say, to like on my own personal nirvana. Honestly, at the end of the day. I was brought up to learn how to take care of other people by like my parents pretty strictly. Opening doors, being polite, being a gentleman, how to eat properly. But I just was like, oh, if you got a problem, that's your problem. That's your thing. I'm cool over here. Excuse me. And even after all my training, so at this point, to go see my mom, we'd already finished the courses in New York. The 18 courses were finished. The 10 meditation modules, all my personal retreats, and then got a job to prepare for Diamond Way. Then we did that for 6.5 years and it wasn't just one course. We had multiple courses going on at the same time. Yeah, right in this very room. I sat actually where David is. Most of my time was sat right there. Like anyone who went here knows exactly where they sat, right? Right? Yeah, we knew that. And you came in, you don't sit where somebody was sitting for 4 years, you know? So that I had all that training behind me. Plus, you know, we went around the world doing DCI, early DCI, YSI. We flew to New York. So we were being trained pretty consistently for like 14 years, right? And finished that and went to go take care of my mom. And in a way, if I'm being honest, I was on a personal path to happiness, even though I understood the 4-step method, like how to take care of others. I understood the seed system, and I utilized it. But I thought, if I really care about people, what should I do? You know, while I was up there taking care of my mom, I thought, is Tim here? No, good. So I was like, I'm not going to hand them in all my homeworks. I'm going to do them, but I'm just not going to give them to them. Because I want to show that I understand what it means in my real life. I want to be an example. Of course, I'm studying behind the scenes completely, but I want to be an example to people in my own. And how am I going to be successful? And so I thought I should get the diamond. Does anyone have a diamond cutter business book here, the red one, by any chance? If you don't, it's no problem. Thank you. I was around when Geshe was writing this. And then he handed it to Jigme, I believe, when he went into 3-year retreat. Is that correct? The final, yeah. So I was around when he was writing this and The Garden. So I know what's going on in here. But I thought I should probably use this book and put this to work. And if I could be successful, then for sure, like DCI is going to come knocking at my door. Because I didn't go to SCIM. You know, I didn't attend all of those trainings. I don't have any certificates from that. But if I could be successful in my job, then I think this might be the best way that I can help people. So this became sort of my Bible. And if you look at my personal copy, there's lines and highlights. And so I went into the cycling industry, and that's kind of where I started that entryway. And so I thought, okay, I'll use this book. Not yet, though, good. And then let's see if I can do this. And so I made a list of what I really wanted. You know, number one, identify what you want in the seed system. So I had like a dollar amount, which is pretty high. And it is getting there, actually. I had the role I wanted to do. So it was like manager to general manager to regional to CEO. That was my trajectory mentally. And a few other points I wanted on there. So I was like, I'm doing it. So I got the book, went to the list, and especially to the correlations. And I started to, I identified probably my 5 major ones. But the cool thing about a job is they don't care that you went to Diamond Mountain for the retreat. And you're all chill now. Chill means relaxed, right? Okay. That's for the translators. So they don't care. They're going to tell you like it is. And, you know, you're there to produce, period. Like, that's what a job is. They don't care what your training is. You're here, and especially if you want to be in leadership, you got to produce. You got to be someone who can be an example, and you got to be successful. You got to have KPIs, key performance indicators. I was like, to be honest with you, there was a lot of like Googling when I went back into this workplace, because at work, my dad always just used to tell me, if you don't know, just be like, yeah. So I'd go home, and I'll slow down. Yeah. I'd go home and be like, what's a KPI? Or what are some of the other ones?
Okay.
Return on investment. Yeah. It's kind of customer insights, basically. So I started doing this, and I would say, you can go to the next picture. I believe it says Rafa. Yeah. So that's the company I worked for in Seattle called Rafa. They're probably one of the biggest cycling apparel companies in the world. And they had a location in Seattle. And because I started biking, I would go in there. I just liked who the people were. They're always engaging me, asking me about me, never pushing a sale. And they had this general outlook, they want you to be happy. And I was like, man, this place is awesome. And so the guy one day said, hey, how's your job? Because I was at another bike place. I said, it's good. He's like, you should work here. And I was like, oh man, I would love to work here. So sent him my resume, got interviews. So you interview manager, general manager, and then the regional. So you have 3 separate interviews. And here's one. Knocked it out of the park means I did really great on all of them, because I really liked what their ethos, what they were all about. And then when he went to offer me the job, he told me the dollar amount, and it was ridiculously low. I mean, I couldn't survive. There's just no way. I can go next door and make a sandwich for more money. So I said, I can't do it. So I wrote him a letter explaining in like really beautiful language, because I didn't want to close the door. Like, I wanted the opportunity to be there. So I said, at your current, here's why I think I'd be great for you. Here's all of my strengths. And if you decide to change the way you guys pay people, I would love to have another conversation. So officially turned the job down. But I had this thing going for me, right? And so I just started doing the seed system, and I had all of these posts on my wall. Serve others, give 5%, study the classics, meditate every day, serve your mom, and then down to like the little behaviors within this book here. And then that manager quit, and the new general manager came, and I got a call. I said, hey, I'd like to talk to you. So I said, right off the bat, look, man, I love your company, but the money's got to be here. And they just hired me. They gave me something I was willing to work with. So went in, and they didn't hire me as a general manager. They just hired me as sort of like what was the role? Kind of like a supervisor, essentially. But I knew I wanted to grow. And I knew I had the idea of luminous images in my mind. So I understood, to the best of my ability, that's sort of what we talked about yesterday. And I knew if I could just keep planting the seed, but the main thing that I think is what made it grow was wanting that if I could do this for others, then this example would be the way to go. And within 3 months, they made me the general manager of the store. My salary doubled. And then money started coming in ways, I thought money would come in through the actual salary. It started flowing in ways I couldn't understand. Someone tried to buy me a Tesla. My housing situation changed. My health got better. And then I was a rising star in the company. And they really wanted me to stay. But I had problems with 2 people I worked with. So I had these luminous images coming up of some unpleasant things. So I just identified in my book, actually I kept it on my iPhone, And one coworker one day, I left this in the back office, and he goes, is it okay if I look at your book? And I was like, because everyone I'm having a problem with is underlined in this book. And I was like, yeah? And he was a really good kid. He was like a younger me. And he would sit back there and read it. And then he was like, I know what you're up to. I like whiteboards. I'm super into whiteboards. I'm super into visual learning. And goals. I love goals. That's my athletic background. So I had all our company goals. And in the lower right-hand corner, in just a little box, I had Breakfast Club and some other nonprofit. Breakfast Club was a cycling club for people in the, what are the words again, the letters? The WTF, women, trans, femme, people who just in their worlds just aren't being recognized, are not supported for who they are. And so I wanted to support them. So I gave them our space for their meetings. We sponsored them. We gave them money for whatever they needed. And to me, that was like our bread and butter seed system. Our store went from, I believe the percentage was like, there's something called conversion, which means of all the people who walk through the door, how many did you convert to a customer? Do you guys know that? What? Yeah. I think we started at 5 or 6%. I went up to like 14 pretty quick. And if you know retail, that's a lot. That's huge. And I said, I'll tell you a secret. I go, all of these big letters, if I was really running the company the way I want to, it'd be backwards. That club would be at the very top in huge things. All of our outreach would be there, and down here would be the little things that on the daily. Hey, try to focus on selling t-shirt today or whatever it is. So, and then I had problems with 2 people. And so I used the book thinking 2 things. One, they're going to quit, or I really wanted to fire them, to be honest with you. And I had long talks with HR about it. And they had done things that were fireable, offenses, for sure. I had meetings, and he's like, this is so funny, because this is exactly what Geshe would do. He's like, nah, just keep them. Work on it. And I was like, so want to fire them. Because I was super hungry, and I had people who were other rock stars. I wanted to bring in people who wanted to be there. Like, you don't have to be here. In fact, no one has to be here. But just do your thing and do it well, right? Like, that's why we're here. This is not you don't have to be here. Everyone came of their own volition. Is that right? Word? Of your own choosing. But work hard while you're here, Let's do it together. So, I know this is a long story, and I apologize. But I really want to show how this really worked in my life. So I went on a sales call, and I walked in, and this guy, and this is the luminous image part that I want to focus on. I walked into the store, and me and this guy just pointed at each other from across the store. And it was like, so you know how in a movie, there's all of these people, but one image sort of like comes out of the landscape, like a luminous image almost, right? It was just like that. All of a sudden, everything was like, it's like him and I were just sort of, it wasn't like this, but it felt like this. Like there was light around him, about between us, and we just recognized each other. And I was like, he's tattooed, he's cool, essentially me. Not lying, in fact. I mean, we were just like, wow, you're cool. He's like, you're cool. And we just started talking, and finally he's like, what are you doing here? I thought he was a customer. And I was like, well, I came to meet the general manager of the store. I'd like to sell you guys some of our athletic wear. He's like, wow, I'm actually the vice president of the company. I was like, dang. So we started meeting, and he called me one day, and he said, hey, I'm coming to Seattle, luminous image, right? for some reason, that picture popped up of all of the people in the room. That one person just popped out, right? So I'm doing all of this work in the background. I'm serving people. I'm studying the classics. I'm meditating. What? I feel like I missed one.
I didn't have a teacher.
Man, my checklist is good. I'm good to go, right? The whole checklist is there. I got a guy. I'm serving. I'm doing all. I have my mom. I'm giving 5%. All of those things are going on in the background. And then for some reason, this luminous image guy pops out. And then we just recognize each other. And then he's the vice president of the biggest outdoor retailer. So you can go to the next picture. That's them. And they're the biggest online outdoor retailer in the United States. And they decided after the pandemic, people wanted to go outside. So they started opening up locations. And he called me and said, hey, I'm coming to Seattle, want to meet? I said, sure. I got off the phone. Actually, at the time, Lindsay had a bedroom in the 3rd floor that she was letting me use. And I said, that's not a sales call. And I walked in, he's like, we go, what's up? I'm like, what's up? And I'm like, you find a manager yet? He's like, you want to talk about it? So they offered me a great salary. I think I was going to be at like 140 a year or something like that, base, somewhere in that range. For me, the salary was going up. The 2 people I was having problems with, I already knew, and I had those people on my team. Everything was there. And I was just like, but I thought the people at work would just, I don't know, I thought maybe I'd fire them or whatever, they'd move on but what ended up, the picture that came up in my mind was literally the perfect scenario, completely perfect scenario. The story does not end there. Rosa calls me. Is she here? Yeah. Rosa calls me. Hey, what are you doing? I was like, actually the phone rings, and I said, whatever she says, I'm going to say yes to. She's like, hey, I heard you just got back from Paris. So there was a gap in between Rafa, which I quit, to take on this new job before I started. And I was in like such a great place. I'd just come back from Paris, which I deeply love. And she goes, "What? I heard you quit your job." I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Geshe Michael wants to hire you." I go, "Yes." She goes, "What?" I go, "Yeah, I'll take it." She's like, "Wait, I put together this whole pitch. You got to let me give it to you. I've been working on it." And I was like, "All right, you can give it to me, but I'm just going to say yes anyway." And so that's how it changed in my life. You know, like suddenly that it's been a little bumpy, don't get me wrong, but I never expected that phone call at all. You know, as we all left DM, I thought, I'll come back twice a year. I'm going to work for this company. My trajectory was like GM, regional, and CEO. Which is funny because when I took the job with Geshe, I took CEO because I was like, he's like the CEO. But I actually put it back on because I thought I still want to help somehow, so I actually put it back on my list. And so that is how luminous images affected me directly. And that's really what I wanted to drive home for you guys is that, and I'm going to let Gibson talk about it because where do we go next with this?
I think we have a few minutes. I wanted to have a discussion. What do you think?
Yeah, so this might be a good segue for, we would like you to there's paper here. We're going to hand it out and just break into a bunch of small groups right now and talk about maybe your goals for the next 6 months. What can I do that we've talked about here that I would like to see at the empowerment and then beyond in your life? Like, what would you like your empowerment to look like? How can I plant seeds so that when that empowerment happens, you're like, unbelievable things happen to you. So you guys, just for 10 minutes and at home, if you could take out a piece of paper and just write down, because if you don't do it now, you're not going to do it.
How many people as one group?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Try to include people you don't know. I know there's a language barrier, so we'll keep that in mind. And then we'll come back and we'll wrap up when there's like 5 minutes left.
Okay. So how many days? That's just
if you see the audience here. No? Can they hear me? Yeah. Thumbs up if you see the audience. Here, in the room. Can you see the room? Yeah, I got a thumbs up. All right. So, man, that was cool. I wish we gave you guys, this is great. That was super cool. I hope you continue this outside of the classroom. Gibson's going to talk and kind of wrap us up here, I think. So.
And thank you again, Rob. Give a round of applause. Because the pot on the stove can really apply into your life. And when you are going to pray for your empowerment, 6 months later, your life will also start to changing. And a lot of weird things, like the money comes from the way you didn't expect will come into you. And I just want to share the last idea about the anonymous, anonymous friend.
Yeah. Unknown friend.
Unknown friend, yeah, that is more easy. Unknown friend. And yesterday, Geshe is giving a concept, say that you should try to give without letting them know. And I want to give you a mission or homework. On the way back, or you go to a restaurant, try to pay the bill for a stranger and try to feel how was that feel. Have anyone tried that before? Please raise your hand. Wow, that's a lot. How do you feel? Great, right? 2 years ago, I got this concept, and I went to a Kyoto ramen restaurant with Emily and my friend Sarah. And it's a really fancy restaurant. We just sit there ordering. And I just sit here in the exactly place. And I saw there's a man sobbing and eating alone. And he have a 2 beer can. He just drinking one of them, and after drinking, he just bump into the other can. And I tell Emily, say something's wrong there. Let's buy him a meal, and without letting him know. So we just pay. This is the first time I do this kind of thing. Kind of nervous. I don't know if you first trying that, because this is kind of awkward, right? You want to let the person to do this one, the waiter, and he didn't know what's going on here. But we just tell him, please let us pay him and don't let him know. And after we pay him, we just run out. We don't want to let that person know we paid. But we bump into a beautiful temple. We just went there having some conversation with Sarah and Emily. And this guy came to me. Yeah, maybe the waiters just telling, because he can tell, because I'm the only customer there, okay? We are the only group there. And so try to choose a popular restaurant, okay? And the next one, can you show me? The last, yeah. And he wrote, my good friend just passed away. And thank you for helping me to remember him. So, I don't know, I get a jackpot the first time. Because I don't know, I just want to experience this kind of practice. And this give me let me know, we didn't know what's going on about other people. And the concept about the unknown friend, you can meet your unknown friend, but you can also be an unknown friend. And I believe if you do this practice, one day you become a Buddha, you are going to help trillion or infinity being, but they don't know you are helping them. And that is really cool. If you can help one single person and you feel a lot of joy, but think about it, if you can help in trillion or you couldn't count it being, what does that feel? How does that feel? So I'm hoping you to do your plan in the next 6 months with this kind of motivation. Try to be the one who become an unknown friend to other people. Okay? So thank you again. Thank you, Rob. And thank you all the tag teams. Thank you, Diamond Mountain. And I hope to see you. And do you want to talking about the following?
We're going to do a follow-up program, and we'll announce it on Peachtree World News when we're ready to go. So keep an eye out for that.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Congratulations. Thank you. Yeah, that was great.
Thank you, everyone, for joining GBOCS, and thank you, Gibson and Rob. You guys really the living example for us to follow. Your story, your training, your teaching is really encouraging. So thank you for sharing this session with us. We hope today's class offer really deep clarity, depth, clarity, and inspiration for all of us to continue study and contemplation. Thank you for being here at the ACI Five House, and see you in next session.
Oh